All right, hey guys, I wanted to jump in, talk about some market breadth, and I guess maybe my thoughts on where we could go next here in the market. The downtrend has continued, I would say even broadened. No need to waste any time. Let's jump right in, look at the charts here. We've got the SPY, as we said, we've lost the daily, we have now lost the weekly, and we've got our monthly level sitting down here, but if we jump over to the weekly chart, this is looking nasty, guys. We continue to make lower lows, lower highs, which is really the daily environment that we've been in for a few weeks now, okay? So that's where the caution has come from this channel at least. I'm not trying to pick bottom, guys. Until we change that character, we're in it, all right? The room that I'm reading, the world we're living in is we are in a downtrend, okay? Until that changes, which would take quite a lot, okay? It's not only an up day, guys, and it's not even only taking out the recent swing high, it would also be confirming, right? So it'd be okay, say we did something like this, took the high out, maybe that's a little extreme, but today, tomorrow, early next week, maybe we base out here somewhere around the 200. The real threat is just a pop-up that makes a lower high again and rolls again. Okay, that would be a continuation of the current trend that we're in. But alternatively, you guys know, like we're not predicting here. We're building two scenarios and we have plans to execute, at least two, but plans to execute around them. So a changing character would be very simple, guys. It would be popping up, taking out a swing high, then what? Okay, that's the game's not over yet, okay? It's got to pull back. Either hold that level would be the strongest thing it could do, okay? But even making a higher low and getting back through the level would also be a pretty strong look or a change in character, okay? But until those things happen, it's my belief that you need to treat any pops below the 680, what is that, 3-ish level as a lower high threat, okay, in the SPY. And then that really goes for all of our indexes here where we continue to make lower lows, lower highs, see if we get another lower low here on the Q. But yeah, guys, as long as we are below the 50 at this point, but about 613 area, call it that, we're in a downtrend. It's just that simple. RSP, we continue to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. It is what it is. It's what's happening. We were below the major moving averages. We're pulling into some structure here, so a bounce would not be so surprising. But again, remember that any bounces need to be treated as a lower high threat, okay? That is the name of the game of the video here today. We've got the IWM pulling into a pretty major support area here. So again, would not be surprised to see a bounce here. Something that pops up, but if it makes a lower high and rolls back over, then we're looking pretty head and shoulders-y, aren't we? Look at that. Aren't we? So, those are the threats that I see out there, guys, and we remain in this very volatile, unpredictable environment with the war and the oil trade involved in that. It sort of changes the landscape of guys, come on, it's oil. If oil remains above or gets back above, remains above 100, that affects the entire planet, just period. Commerce, shipping, everything is run at some point through oil, right? It's just that simple. Cargo, freight, everything. So, that remains, I would say, the main threat. And I don't see much de-escalatory talk. Something I want to say that, again, I'm not political, right? But I have opinions, or maybe not opinions. I build scenarios. It's what I do. I build scenarios that I can maybe formulate into a thesis to set risk off of. And so, obviously I'm in tune, I'm in touch with the news flow that's coming out, which I think is bullshit of this. But, the events of what's happening. And the reason I said I think the news flow is bullshit is, guys, come on, news is bullshit. Like, that's not me. That's not breaking news, okay? Like, news is sensory driven. We're trying to get clicks and time on site, right? And a lot of time, like, the titles don't even align with the actual story. Like, come on, news is a mess, right? And you never know what you can believe. But one reason why I really think that right now that's true is we're in the middle of a conflict, right? So I don't understand why we live in a world where we demand that we be given information that we're not privy to. Like, what makes you think that any government, but obviously specifically the U.S. government, is going to come out and tell the fucking news their operation plans, right? Like what they're doing, what their next plan move is, like, but yet here we are with 15 cameras every day in front of the, Secretary of War and President asking what's going on, what's next, blah, blah, blah. Like, guys, they're not giving the real answers. Just from an OPSEC standpoint, I encourage you to consider that, okay? Could I be wrong? Sure. Okay, yeah, maybe they're telling the world what they're going to do next. But the thing that worries me that I've seen in this current conflict or situation is the current administration's inability to stomach downside in the markets, right? Like, we're only a few percent off of highs, and it just seems like they're scrambling. I saw they just, the Jones Act, I don't actually know exactly what that is. I am not an oil expert, okay? Seems like there's plenty of them on X if you want to go over there and figure out what's going on. But anyways, like, it's like a 70-year law or something, like just pulling out all the stops, you could say, to keep the market stable, which in its own right isn't such a bad thing. But if you just think about like how reactive the administration is, Trump is to the markets going down, I think that's a really bad tell that he's showing the world. And if you even look into the latest statements, arguably whether they're real or not, from the new Iran president leader, they're looking to attack that, okay, of maintaining oil at $200 a barrel, which is, it's not sustainable, okay? It would grind the world to a halt, right? So I think Trump needs to stop showing that he's unwilling to allow the markets to move in the downward direction at all, or it's going to get exploited. Anyways, enough tinfoil hat stuff, guys. I don't know what's going on or what's coming. I encourage you to think the same, okay? You're reading your headlines that your algorithm feeds you, okay? Don't be so silly to speak in absolutes and think you know what's going on and what is coming. Give me a break. Like, say that out loud. All right. Anyways, back to the charts here, guys. All that to say, a little bit of a tangent there is that, look, this is price action that should have been expected. As we began to lose the daily. What have I been saying? You lose the daily, you lose the weekly. If you lose the monthly, the market gets nasty. So we're on our way towards testing that, it seems. We'll see what happens. I'll say that yesterday was a bit of a changing character for me, where we gapped down. Let's do the regular trading hours. You can see we gapped down here, and every other time that has happened, I mean, just look here for the latest. We had the day before. At the very least, we closed that gap. I mean, very quickly in the session as well, but a lot of times it begins a reversal back up towards recent swing highs, which we've not been able to break. But, I just wanted to say that yesterday was a bit of a change in character for me. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to say, like, here it is, we're finally going to really crack and the world is going to burn. Maybe I shouldn't use words like that because things are looking a little sketchy. This is different, okay? We gapped down and we held the gap and we sold off and closed at lows. I mean, just look at the daily candles here, and when's the last time that happened? Back here, February 5th, something like that, or back here, January 20th. It's been a while. Also, look what it sparked, both days, all right? Little relief rallies, okay? But I would, again, just know that if it does spark a little relief rally here, it's got a lot of work to do before you go predicting longs, guys. Wait for confirmation. Stop trying to predict. All right, people are getting punished for doing so, for trying to pick bottom right now. There will be a signal that then confirms, okay? If we look back to the last one, signal confirmed. I mean, yeah, it's way up here and whatever. I mean, yeah, there were trades to be had here. Investing standpoint, yes, I did make a few investments in this range, but back to a swing trading, momentum-based strategy, I waited for this day right here, okay, May 27th. And then I went on an absolute ripper for 5 months, okay, tripled my account in 5 months, my swing account. Just wait for that, okay, otherwise you're predicting. So some examples, why? Before we do that, let's look at a few more things, guys. Here's some breadth charts. If you want these charts, just ask, okay, this is the high-low index, stocks making new highs versus new lows. We have a zero line. Obviously, if we're bullish, we want to be above. We're getting down below. So let's see, do we bounce back above, or do we actually begin to spend some time below here, which, reflecting back to the last time the market got nasty, that is how that looks. So really just beginning, we'll have to see. And then we've got, now this is a little bit nasty. The stocks above and below there, the blue line is a 50-day moving average. The gray line is a 200. And that's a pretty vertical waterfall decline there. And looking at a few of these, come to Saturday session tomorrow. Today's weekly close is going to be very important. And, we're going to take a deep look at market breadth, build a plan or scenarios for the week coming. We'll look at all of the sectors. We'll look at strength, look at some leading weakness, and maybe find some ideas for next week. If we get some follow through today, downside, again, that'll be a continuation of that change of character that I said I noticed in yesterday's candle or yesterday's intraday The print from yesterday, gap down, held it, closed at lows. That hasn't been happening much. So if we get follow through as opposed to those snapback days, then that's going to be telling and something we want to review and layer into our plan for the coming week. So guys, come to that, WarrenSnax@gmail.com if you've not come before, and I will email you the Zoom link. It's not a pitch, it's not a webinar. All right, I do live market analysis, open up for AMAs. You can ask me anything, and that has lasted at least an hour each week. So a lot of great value. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Everybody that's been before, you'll get the links here. I'll send them out at some point today. So some things that are worrying me, okay? MAGs. This is a very important, this is the MAG 7 ETF. What are we doing here? All right, what are we going to do is the bigger question. That's what I would say our line in the sand that we need to hold. If we break down below that, pop back up and fail it, like the market's going to see some downside, okay? And this was like an early indicator, I would say, of the market we're in. We started making lower lows, lower highs in MAG 7s, and that was some early headwind or weight on the markets, obviously. Something else, guys, XLF. I mean, without financials, how can you really trust any pops in the markets? This is the second heaviest weighted sector in the market. If this remains a headwind, I remain concerned about the market. All right, and look at last time we talked about this on the channel, I said this little move here where it was a shake and go. We invert, okay, we pop down, and then we had a 3-day sequence that came right up, and I said, hey, we're not making a higher high, right? We didn't make a higher high, we made a lower high. I said, watch out for this to roll back down through. Guys, it's market structure. Stop trying to be a hero and predict, and learn market structure. If you need help, I have an offer. I'll work with you one-on-one. I teach you 6 models, proper risk management, market structure, all this stuff. I'd love to work with you. But anyways, this is concerning, okay? XLK, this is concerning. Line in the sand. Another time where we pop up, make a lower high below the 50, and we're pushing back down. So until it does this, this is a headwind on the market. SMH. This is another one where, yeah, it popped off a structure and it got up over the 50 and this was attractive, but this is where you don't predict, right? And you don't just jump in because the market environment has changed. We are in a downtrend. We're not in a bear market yet, but we are in a downtrend in the markets, and you need to factor that into your positioning, right? And either be far less aggressive and size down or just wait for confirmation, right? So yeah, I saw this triggering on a good hold, but we're not in a market where we're aggressive on triple R triggers, okay, to the long side because we're in a downtrend. Okay, so what needs to happen here is we wait for this to get through the level, make a lower high, and come back up through. Okay, that would be slightly attractive price action, but it's waiting for confirmation. Because look, if you buy the breakout in a freaking bear market, in a downtrending market, you immediately get rolled. Okay, so and also it was pretty vertical days up into the trigger, like downtrend market. Like guys, you have to wait for confirmation in this market. You have to wait for the change of character, and then for it to confirm, you must. Okay. If you're trying to trade opposite of the flow of the market, okay, you got to wait for that character to change and then confirm. Otherwise, you're betting against the market, and that doesn't normally go very well. Looking at XLB here, this is something worth noting because here we are at the prior all-time high level, really nasty move off of highs in a sector that was leading. This is another noticeable for me for the markets is like we had these rotationary sectors, but we've lost those in the last couple of weeks, right? Like that's something you need to be noticing, right? In a bear market, everything goes down, okay? So while we still had all that rotation, the market was sort of holding up, really choppy. We were in that frickin' range for months, but like we're losing everything now, okay? Almost everything now. We'll review that tomorrow live, but it pulled right back into the prior resistance level, right? And you would want to see this. This is a character identifier of the market that I'm watching closely. We're going to review tomorrow. It could roll into next week, but like normally, yeah, you would want to see this react off of this level, get back above our moving average. Triple R, you can take it, it's safe and all, okay? But if the character delivery of the market is one that does not respect that it held structure and gets it back onto trend, you need to notice that, okay? And notice that we're in a heavy market, okay? We have no follow through at that point, right? So if it rolls over, pops up, well, then we would have follow through to the downside, okay? And maybe consider trading downside of price action. Not saying on this name specifically, but you got to notice this kind of stuff, guys. So either come work with me one-on-one or come to the live session tomorrow where we're going to talk deeply about it. Another one, XLV. Like, guys, this was one of the things holding the markets up here. Let's say more like this, you know, kind of keeping us afloat. And Yeah, this is the third heaviest weighted sector in the market, and guys, we're losing it. All right, we're losing it. Could we see a reaction off of this level? Yes, but what do we do then? We look for it to set a lower high and continue through. That, my friend, is a short. And XLP, another one, consumer staples here, that same thoughts as materials, right? So we break out of this zone, all right, we roll over, tried to pop up, rolled over again. Like, guys, you got to notice this stuff, all right? Got to notice. So we'll get deeper into that tomorrow. So some things that I just want to sort of harp on why you must wait for the confirmation. Let's look at Tesla here. Everyone and their mom on X was talking about Tesla is holding, it's breaking out, and it broke trend, rolled over the next day. Okay, think about we're under the 50. The way I trade, there's nothing to do here yet, but we changed character for one day. One day. We're not done. We're not done yet. We're not out of the woods. The market's heavy. The market's in a downtrend. All the frickin' stuff, guys. So for me, this looks a lot more attractive like that. Okay, let's look at SMH as we did. But yeah, look, we reacted, got up over, but we're rolling again. Okay, so lower high threats is the threat in the market right now on these moves that look really good. And guys, that might come today. Okay, it has been. When you get these down sequences, we get sharp bounce backs that gets all the bulls back in. It stops all the bears out. All the bulls get back in. They roll it again, like back and forth, snip, snap. All right, so be wary of that. Demand that we change character and confirm. I'm not going to stop saying it. INTC, okay, another one here, right? I liked this a lot. This thing was changing character, right? But there's nothing for me to do here because it has not confirmed. Does it look like maybe it could and turn back up? We'll see. We'll see. But, I also demand SMH to be more attractive as well. So we'll see. But just another example of, buying this breakout. I don't know. I just don't know why do it against the market right now. TER, another market character identifier. This is one of the strongest stocks in the frickin' world for, months. Okay. So what do? Finally get our pullback, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, this thing should pull back and test the 50, right? That happens, all good, sets up the next move higher. But if you look, we react really well off of it, but then we're rolling again. So if we take this out, that is the threat that you need to watch more for, as opposed to say, I got to get into this thing. It's just guys, what if it freaking breaks this level? Okay, it would be a lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, you got to let that play out before you go jumping into it, in my opinion. Okay, or keep that damn wrist tight. If we re-trigger back to that level and you want to do a swing stop there with a 2R up towards top of range, whatever, just size down, but I'm not doing it. Same thing here on light. Okay, this strongest stock in the world lately. One of them, same exact deal. You finally get your pullback, totally fine. You want to see that reinitiate trend, okay, and then follow through, but it didn't do that. That's a change in delivery, change of character, whatever you want to call it. It's different. You need to notice it. Okay, so we come back, lower high. Now we're midpoint at a threat of a lower low, or do we turn back up? We'll see, but I'm not guessing on it. Okay, because if we lose this, look out. Another one, GE. Okay, aerospace has been super, super strong. Okay, one of the things holding us up. Look at this, guys. We rip up, come down, make a lower low, lower high, lower low. Got to notice it, okay? I'm talking about in the current trend, when we changed character, got back above our moving averages, and ripped. Now we're down, lower low, lower high, lower low. The current right now bar-to-bar trend is down on volume, on something that was helping hold the market up, a sector, a rotationary sector. Guys, this is... I'm teaching you market breadth, okay? I'm teaching you how to read the room. I'm teaching you market breadth the best that I can in a freaking YouTube video, okay? And then last one, and we'll wrap things up here. Another thing, guys, this is precious metals, okay? Rare earths. We're rolling over, okay? Roll over, test the 50, pop back up, and rolling midpoint. We're in the middle of finding out, do we make a lower low, or do we get back on the trend here, okay? So, let these things play out. So that's WPM. You got HL as well. Right? So this is a change in character, guys. It's breaking down, popping up, and it looks like it wants to confirm and follow through to the downside along with a lot of the market. So I encourage you to not fight the market. Don't fight the market, okay? Don't try to outsmart the market. Understand that it's okay to wait. If you're feeling jumpy, you got to stop. You got to figure something out. Okay, come work with me. I can help you do that. I can help you build a risk profile and market risk profile and match it with your own tolerance. Know when to be positioning, when to be sitting on your hands, all of those kinds of things. But guys, stop trying to force and call bottom because you read a headline that you were like, oh, like I relate to that, or I believe that, or whatever the frickin' reason is, right? Like, what is making people try to get long right now? Like, you're going against trend, and like that goes against everything that I guarantee you most of you guys learned about the market. Is like, I'm going to follow trend, or I understand trend. I can do technical analysis because I can understand resistance, trend lines, asymmetric triangles, all this stuff, wedges. I can see these things. Well, like now it's time to frickin' like see it. You see it, okay? We're in a downtrend. We are in a downtrend until proven otherwise and confirmed. All right. So I don't know. I would just respect that. We'll look at the ARC position really quick here to finish up. I've been trying to manage this and stay in this here for a while now. Finally getting a break of this. Head and shoulders with the bear flag, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it, man. But like nothing has to work. But damn, you got to think this should, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens here. And this is my vehicle. I've talked about it before, but this is sort of my vehicle. If the market's going to roll, I expect momentum names to roll. Or this is a risk on ETF, right? So like if risk is going to come off, I expect this to pull back a good bit. So yeah, we'll see how that works. But I did take a position yesterday, 1/8 of a single unit, very controlled size. It did pull back later. I had gone to sleep by then. But yeah, look, all good here. I'm looking at this as a big, beautiful cup and handle, shake and go with triple R in a hot sector. If you look at the XLU, the utility sector looks pretty good as well. Also doing a shake and go with triple R on the utility sector, but this is against the market. I tried to pick something that maybe this will counter move a down market. Utilities. We'll see. We'll see. There could be a flight to safety. We'll see. So, I certainly controlled my size here, and we'll see if that works. I'll talk about it either way, but that's my trade. All right, it's a shake and go with triple R trigger. Stop goes below recent swing high, and we've got a new all-time high target there. I got the April 17th. Yeah, 17th, 92.50 calls. We'll see how that works out, guys. Stay safe, manage your risk. Keep it tight. Keep it tight, okay? We're still really not getting true follow. Let's see if we get that today, guys. Come join me tomorrow. It will be worth it. All right, see you soon.